Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today I'm down at Carolina Auto Direct. We're gonna check out this 2022 Ford SuperDuty F350 Platinum. So huge shout out to them for providing this massive work truck for me today. Make sure you guys check out their website because they're always getting in some awesome, pretty much brand new inventory. That link is down below. But the F350 that you see behind me is finished off in Atlas Blue Metallic, and it has a list price right around $94,000. To start off today's review, we're going to take a look at what powers this F350. Underneath the hood is the 6.7 liter Power Stroke Turbo Diesel V8 engine. This is paired to the 10-speed automatic transmission, and it pumps out 475 horsepower, around 2,600 RPM, and 1,050 pound-feet of torque as low as 1,600 RPM. That power sent to the rear wheels. This truck does have the four-wheel drive system as well. It weighs in just over 8,100 pounds. It'll do 0 to 60 in just under 7 seconds, and it also has a fuel capacity of 48 gallons. This has a wheelbase of 176 inches. Its overall length is 266.2. It has a width of 105.9, a height of 82.1, and its ground clearance comes in at 8.3 inches. As we move on to the exterior styling now for this F350, let's start off with the massive Ford logo that you can see in the middle of the grille. It has a forward-facing camera nicely incorporated in the lower section, just to give you that much more visibility for the size of this truck. And the rest of this grille is finished off in satin aluminum, which gives it a great accent against this exterior blue. There are plenty of cutouts in this grille too to provide even more cooling to this engine, and a few chrome trim pieces run throughout the middle of the grille, as well as being on the two tow hooks down below. You can see Super Duty is stamped in the upper section of the hood. Really nice design to see, along with all of these hood bulges to give it more of that aggressive look. The headlights are LEDs along with the high beams, turn signals, and DRLs. And you can see that the DRL surrounds the entire outer section of the headlight housing. The turn signal is front and center. And the grille is also incorporated to the inside of the headlight housings, just making it match really nicely. There's LED fog lights in the body colored section of the bumper, as well as another air inlet just behind that front license plate bracket. This also has a lower air dam to help provide even more aerodynamics. This truck is built for towing, not for MPG, but it's nice to see that it does have that addition. And as we work our way to the side profile now, this has a really nice set of 20-inch wheels with a multi-spoke design and that satin finish to match the rest of this truck very nicely. F350 and Platinum are just behind that on this chrome trim piece, and there's even a functional heat extraction vent on that trim piece there, so airflow can go through the grille and exit that piece. This has the Power Scope mirrors, which means that they will extend to provide better visibility when towing. Ford is on the side. This also has a spotlight and a built-in camera. This truck has an aftermarket antenna there just to give it more of a clean look. There's chrome on the grab handles, and you can see chrome trim running on the power side steps. So when I open up the door, those will automatically deploy, making it much easier to enter and exit this truck because it is so large. And up on the roof, we can get a better look at the full moonroof, as well as these lights that you see in the front section there, and also a sneak peek at that interior, which is a great combo against this exterior blue. This truck also has the extended bed, so this is the 8-foot bed. There is a smaller bed if you'd like to get that. Very nice lines run down the side too. The fender arches have really nice design. And then working our way to the back, we have the dual exit side exhaust as well as the LED taillights. More satin aluminum running right through the middle of this power gate. You can see Platinum as well as Super Duty. And then over on the right side of the release for the tailgate is a spotlight. The backup camera is just above that. All the parking sensors are incorporated into the body colored bumper end caps. This also has a towing capacity right around 21,000 pounds using the conventional method, which is the one down below. If you opt for the fifth wheel or the gooseneck, that bumps up that towing to around 32,500 pounds. So this is a very useful work truck, being able to haul whatever items that you have. So with the exterior wrapped up, let's move on to this bed space. So just by using that release, this has the soft opening tailgate, so it will automatically lower down. And then with this 8-foot bed, anything is possible. You can put in whatever items you may have. This truck also has this aftermarket bed cover, which you can flip up and get it out of the way as needed. And with the bed cover folded out of the way, there is a ton of space. The fender arches are very small for the size of this truck, makes the bed a lot more usable, which is great to see. There's dome lights and tie-down hooks so you can safely secure items, as well as some power outlets that are located over on that driver's side. You can hook up items as needed. And then it also has the bed step, which is really nice and convenient to have. All you need to do is push the button on the end of it. It will automatically pop out. From there, you can grab the handle and use this to easily enter and exit this bed. If you're using this as a work truck every single day, makes it much more convenient to do this rather than jumping in and out. And then it's the reverse process to fold that back into the tailgate and easily shut it. We can move on to these back seats. When I grab this door handle, you'll see that power side step automatically deploy, again, making it easier to enter and exit. And we can get a better look at this dark Marcella interior. Really nice color for this leather against this exterior blue. There's a cool trim piece just above the hidden release handle, a really nice satin trim finish in front of that, the window control. This truck has the optional 10-speaker Bang & Olufsen sound system, and there's a split design for the storage, a little bit in the middle and a little bit more in the lower section. And then moving on to these seats, you can see platinum right in the middle. Great color to them with the perforations and the stripe running down the middle. These seats are also very functional as far as interior storage. And there's two different ways where you can have this configuration. You can have this bin all the way open, where there's some items you can place on this side so they won't roll around when the seat is down, or you can fold this completely flat, giving you a really nice flat surface to put in larger items if you need the extra space. And then as far as putting people in the back, with that side step and the grab handle up top, at 5'10", I'll work my way up into the back. This back seat is a little bit farther than I would sit, but you can see I have plenty of room for my feet and my legs, and around 2 or 3 inches above my head. Full-size adults could easily fit in the back. Very spacious to have 3 people going across this back seat. Right in the middle, there is an armrest along with 2 cup holders if you need to use them. This has the automatic sliding rear glass, so you can open and close that as needed. And then in the middle, there are 2 cup holders, as well as the heated seat buttons for these outer 2 rear seats. And then there's a USB and a USB-C, along with a 3-prong outlet and air vents on both sides. There's no obstructions right in the middle, so even your middle seat passenger has plenty of foot room. And as I mentioned earlier, this has the full moonroof, so provides a lot of light, especially for your backseat passengers. A lot of space, very easy to get out to with that side step. And before we work our way to the front, this truck has remote start. So if I lock it and double tap this button here, it will start right up. Very nice feature to have. If you need to shut the truck off for whatever reason, you can double tap on that button. And with the truck still locked, I can use this button here. Pushing on that will unlock the truck. There's even the keypad that you can use if you'd like to use that. So really nice to see all those options to enter and exit the truck. On the door panel, you'll see the addition of the memory seating adjustments up front, as well as the side mirror adjustments. And this has the extender, as I mentioned earlier, for those power scope mirrors. So if you're towing, that gives you a lot more visibility. Great to see that feature for this work truck. All of the window controls and that same trim piece are there, as well as the split design for the storage in the lower section. And moving on to these seats, same as the rear ones, of course. Platinum is right in the middle along with that stripe. These seats are also automatic as well, and the front seats also get an additional grab handle, which again makes it easier to enter and exit this truck. And looking at the steering wheel now, it's completely covered in solid leather with some red accents on the inside just to match these seats very nicely. More satin trim surrounding it. But let's fire this diesel up now. With my foot on the brake, we have that button over on this right side, and we can bring this to life. And looking at this gauge cluster, on the left side is the tach, on the right side is the miles per hour. There's an 8-inch LCD screen right in the middle with a lot of information to go through. On the upper section of it, there's fixed information like temperatures, your range until empty, along with a turbo gauge. And then below that, there's a lot more info to go through using these buttons over on the left side of the steering wheel. Just below that is all the cruise control settings. On the right side is volume and tuning for the radio, as well as Bluetooth and voice commands. But coming back to these dials here, currently it's in the off-road pages, so that will show pitch and roll as well as the degrees for the steering wheel. Scrolling over to settings, you can look at all of the safety features that come on this truck. The cross traffic alert, your rear parking aid, pre-collision. You can go through the cruise control, your gauge selection. There's also a towing tab, so when you have trailers hooked up, you can monitor all this information. There's also a checklist to go through just to make sure that you are safe before you start towing. There's truck information, so you can go through all of these just depending on what you'd like to see and view. There's also the trip and fuel, and then my view. You can put any information here that you view the most on this tab, so it makes it very quick to be able to get to those as shortcuts as needed. And then working our way to the left side of the steering wheel, down below is a foot pedal adjustment, so just depending on where you like those, you can move them. There's a release for the lift gate, as well as all the headlight and parking light adjustments, fog light controls, even the bed cargo light you can turn on and off. Both of these are for the spotlights underneath the side mirrors, so if you're using this truck at night, you can use those to turn them on. There's one air vent, more of that dark colored leather on both sides with a little bit of storage space right in the middle, and you can see the Bang & Olufsen logo. And then below that is the 10-inch screen. There's a lot of information that you can go through within the system. On the lower section here, these are all of the presets. So it has audio, phone, you can go into the navigation, pull that up in full screen. There's a favorites button, so you can set that up. Different apps that you can go into. This does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And then a few settings to go into. Your seats, you can go to the valet mode, just some other general information that you can set up as needed. And on this right side, we do have a split screen for this. So if I push on this pages button down below, you can scroll through audio, go to your navigation, there's phone, you can even look at the bed camera, all the climate controls. If I click on the X now, I can scroll through all that same information just by using these arrows. So it's nice depending on what you have on, if you'd like to minimize a screen or have it full screen on this left side. Plenty of info and versatility for that system. This is the engine braking, traction control, there's the hazards, as well as a downhill assist control. This is the lane keeping assist, and then by pushing on the camera, let's talk about this 3D camera system. So right now it's showing the forward-facing camera along with the top-down view, and if I push on this, there are so many different angles. That's the full screen for the forward-facing as well as a split screen there. If I click on this one here, this is a camera located right next to the bed light. So you can monitor anything that's in the bed. You can even look down at the hitch. So when you're backing up, makes it a lot more easy to see. And then the last one here is just the normal backup camera. Now, in order to put this truck into reverse to use that, this does have a column mounted shifter. So obviously that will show up the backup camera along with the top down view. And if I push on the plus sign, now we have that same hitch view along with the guidelines too, just to make it a lot more convenient. And you can shift using the column mounted shifter, just depending on if you're towing, if you need to hold the truck in a gear. Drive is all the way down along with the manual setting, which allows you to use that plus and minus, and then park is all the way back up. You'll see an air vent on both sides of that. Over on this left side is the four-wheel drive system, so you can activate 4 high and 4 low. Trailer braking system is just underneath that, along with the trailer backup. So this is in assistance mode for this truck. If you've never backed up a trailer or you need a little bit of help, you can use this button and it makes it a lot more easy to use. Over on the right side, there's a 12 volt and a 3-prong outlet. There's some music controls in the middle for volume and tuning, as well as the power for the audio, a few other controls for that. This button over on the right side will give you 3 different settings for this screen. So you can show the date and the time, you can shut this off, or bring it back up to where we saw, just depending on what you'd like to have. And then below that is all the physical buttons for the climates. Now, as I showed earlier, you can go to the climates, you can get activation to the heated steering wheel by going through this over on that right side. And then down below, if you're not on that screen, you have temperature dials along with fan speed, where you like the air to go. This even has heated and ventilated seats for driver and passenger, along with recirc and all of those controls. And then below that, if I open this up, there's a wireless charging pad along with a USB, USB-C, a little bit of storage space, and more of that trim that you saw on the doors, along with that satin aluminum on both sides. A lot more storage space is right in the middle, along with 2 cup holders. And then this even has more storage on both sides. So if you need to place smaller items, maybe your phone or other documents, you have additional storage, as well as how big this center console is. And this model here has a built-in safe. So once you open that up, there is a ton of space, that removable tray there for any items that you'd like to place and hide in there. You can easily close that. Over on the passenger side, there's the glove box with the split style underneath it. And this truck even has the additional glove box up top for any other items, with the satin aluminum and SuperDuty stamped into that cover. Makes it look very nice. This interior, again, is a really nice color. I love the spec. And for that moonroof and sunroof option, we have all the sunshade adjustments as well as the sunroof adjustments up top. This control here is for that automatic sliding rear glass, and there's even a sunglass holder up top as well. As we get this 2022 Ford F350 SuperDuty out on the road, this is a massive truck. If you haven't been able to tell, it is a big truck. But I like the fact too that it is actually really easy to maneuver. The turning radius is much larger than a normal car or something obviously much smaller, but it's pretty easy to maneuver. I like how there's really no blind spots for the size of this truck. With the 3D camera system, that is especially helpful. But I really like too, and I didn't mention it earlier, the split design for these side mirrors. The lower one is more of a magnifying lens, and I can actually see both tires with how they're positioned right now. I can see the yellow line, the white line on both sides, so I can easily keep this truck centered within the lines. And then with the upper section of the mirrors, I'll show this in the POV angle, so that'll be after this test drive here. But I can see the corners of both beds as well. So it's a lot of visibility out of these side mirrors, and that's with them folded all the way in. If I extend these power scope mirrors now, if I had a trailer, I could see around whatever size trailer that you have for this, because this F350 is meant for towing. I forgot to mention earlier that the payload is right around 5,500 pounds. That alone is an 8-foot trailer by itself built into the truck, being able to tow 5,500 pounds with just this truck. Very impressive to see. That's what this truck is designed to do. But with all of that out of the way, this interior here is on a whole nother level. If you're driving this for work purposes, you're towing horse trailers, whatever it may be, construction equipment, this is also a daily driver with how comfortable it is. We're gonna give it some gas here with just an empty truck. And you just watch that speedometer keep climbing. We are up to speed, no issues there with over 1,000 pound-feet of torque, but using that for whatever trailer you have, you'll be able to get that moving and up to speed in no time. But this interior is really where it's at for daily driving this, using it as a work truck. It's awesome to see how luxurious these trucks have become, because back in the day, this was just something meant for hauling. Didn't matter what the interior was. Put in a big engine, make it be able to tow a lot of weight, have a steering wheel, pedals, pretty much it. Technology has come a long way, and especially for trucks like this, even just driving this without anything behind it, it is so comfortable. Heated and ventilated seats, large screen in the middle, navigation. It has pretty much everything that you need. And this interior, it's a really nice color combo with this exterior blue. I've never seen another Super Duty like this. Mainly you see color combos like this on more sporty vehicles, not necessarily in a pickup truck. For being a diesel as well, I know diesels are known for being loud trucks. The camera might hear it, but just cruising, it's not loud. Like you can tell, you can obviously tell that this is a diesel. But if you're driving this every day, it's nothing out of the ordinary of anything being annoying. And obviously you're buying a diesel, you know what you're getting. And as we switch over to the POV angle, we'll give it some gas. Not even half throttle and we're up to speed. So plenty of power. And maybe from this angle you can tell how high this truck is. We have a normal sedan, and I'm almost sitting higher than the roof of that vehicle. That's how high this truck sits. Gives you a really good presence of the road as well, being able to keep it in line. Like I mentioned earlier, it's not hard to drive, especially if you drive it every day. You obviously get used to it. I own a mid-size truck, and jumping from that to this, it's really no different. It's obviously longer, but it's easy to drive. Visibility, again, from this angle, you can kind of see that side, the passenger side of the hood. It's a little obstructed, but you can lean up a little bit and place it. And then looking at these power scope mirrors again, I'll put them all the way out. You won't be able to tell a difference because there's no trailer, of course, but you can get another look at the split design for the mirror. I really like the horizontal split that they have. Some other vehicles have them in the vertical position. I think horizontal just makes it a little bit easier on your eyes. That is a personal preference, of course. And a quick look at visibility. Like I mentioned earlier, it's not hard to see out of pickup trucks. Pillar is really small. You can completely see out of that back glass. And then over my left shoulder, I can look out of the passenger window. Very open with this moonroof as well. And one last acceleration for today's video. Just like that, up to the speed of traffic. But that's gonna wrap it up for this 2022 Ford SuperDuty F350 Platinum. Once again, massive shout out to Carolina Auto Direct for providing this truck for me today. Check out their website, that link is down in the description. Give the video a huge thumbs up and consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. And I will see you all in the next video.